Look at all of those Britons. Who are the Britons? We all are. We are all Britons. And Max is your king. I don't think there is a single person in the world more excited to meet celebrities than Stefano Domenicali. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's why he's taken the job at the FIA. I really get the feeling. Looks like we're live. Yes, we are. Hello, hello. Welcome to Turn15 channel. My name is Johnny Crash. How are you doing? So we're looking at Vin Diesel. Again, more celebrities because it's Silverstone, baby. It is the British Grand Prix round 12 of the F1 Championship for 2025. Should be a corker, should be a cracker, should be a fantastic race. Track has been soaked several times over so far today. This morning, including on the way to the grid, everybody's made it. Except for Colapinto, who's starting from pit lane. Everybody's made it to the grid. Looks like a full set of cars. Nobody's gone off. We're getting 20 starters, maybe. Although I said that last week and we didn't. So we'll see if Carlos Sainz and the rest of them will start the race this week anyway. Verstappen on pole, all-timer of a pole position lap. My goodness, that was just something else, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic. There are several times, I remember Lewis Hamilton in Canada in 20... Oh God, it's gone back now. It's either 2017 or 2019, I forget which. It's the one where he matched Senna's pole record, which makes me think it was 2017. What a lap that was. Absolutely astonishing. Max, until he put it in the wall at the final quarter, Saudi Arabia 2021, what a lap. There are certain laps you can tell as they're unfolding that this really, really is something special. Even Greg Murphy at Bathurst in 2003 was something special as it unfolded. Max Verstappen, exactly the same yesterday. Fantastic lap. Absolutely amazing. Gobsmacked watching it. Even Jenson Button, Anthony Davidson, all of them saying yesterday they don't know how he did it. I don't know how he does it. I think he's genuinely... as I get myself set up here. He is genuinely, I think... I think best of all time is it's a strange debate to have for a sport that has moved with technology so far over 75 years. But it's getting there. It's really, really looking likely that Max could be, maybe, the best we've ever seen in terms of raw talent, the whole package. He really could be it. Anyway, Verstappen on pole, Piastri second, Norris third, Russell fourth, Hamilton fifth, Leclerc sixth. That is kind of your bog standard top six for this season, but it is fantastic because all of them look quick. Fernando Alonso seventh, Gasly eighth, amazing lap for Gasly actually. Carlos Sainz in ninth, so decent start for him. Antonelli 10th after having a 3-place grid drop because of his ambitious move on Max Verstappen in Austria last week that put poor Max out on lap 1. Now, one thing that's actually nice for Max, he's got some of his penalty points back, so he doesn't have to be facing these same questions constantly of how many points you're going to get away with this week, Max. He's got a few of them back, so he should be able to get his elbows out, which is great for us. It means for a fun race. It's always fun, as an analogy, it's always more fun when a defender or a midfielder in a soccer game has a yellow card to play with. When they've got that little bit of room, you'll see a little bit more action out of them, as opposed to if they are on a yellow card, like Max was, very, very, very close to a red card and sitting out a race. Had to be a little bit tame, but it doesn't even matter. Lap 1, it's all done. Austria. So in a way, thank you, Kimi Antonelli. Yuki Tsunoda 11th on the grid. So blamed a power loss in qualifying for why he didn't make Q3. Yeah, you know, I buy it. He looks a little bit closer to Max this week. He looks like a little bit more comfortable in that car, so we'll see exactly what's going on with Yuki. It's starting to get a little bit desperate now. I've got a hair that's just, I don't know if anybody has experienced this. I'm sure you have, when you just have a hair that is out of nowhere bugging in your eyes. Anyway, Yuki Tsunoda 11th. We'll see what he can do from there. I'd expect points. Sainz, Gasly, Alonso, those are cars that Red Bull should be able to beat. we'll see what we get out of Yuki today. He looked absolutely and sounded absolutely lost after Austria. Bad race for him. Very, very, very bad race. Never on it, never even close to being on it. Race pace was bad, qualifying pace was bad. Was complaining that the tyres were melting and was saying that it was all his fault. It wasn't even that the car had anything particularly wrong with it or he wasn't gelling with the car. It just was his fault. So we'll see what he can get out of today. He'd better hope that he does something, because Red Bull, they have said that Yuki will stay in the car for the rest of the year, but they said the same thing about Lawson. Hadjar's starting 12th, so good work for Isaac Hadjar. Albon 13th, a little bit disappointing for Albon. Ocon 14th, Lawson 15th, Bortoletto, Stroll down in 17th, Behrman 18th after qualifying 8th place. 10 place grid drop for crashing under a red flag in practice, which is just a silly rookie mistake that he really could have done without. But that's why they're rookies, because they make rookie mistakes, and that's why they're called rookie mistakes, because rookies make them. It's a shame for him, but we'll see what he can do from 18th. Hulkenberg 19th, Colapinto starting from the pits in 20th after having a little bit of a crash in was it Q1 or Q2? I forget which, either way, in qualifying yesterday. So, not great for Franco. Not great. The hounds sound like they're coming for Franco Colapinto as well. Flavio Briatore, well, he's not known for being patient either. In fact, but he's almost like Red Bull's worst traits personified as one person. Personified as one person? Why not? Exemplified in one person. Hard task maker, very prone to just throwing the toys out the pram and throwing drivers out the team as well. So we'll see what happens with Franco Colapinto. In an ideal team, in an ideal world, Franco would get the rest of the season to see what he can do and then lay a proper claim on the drive for 2026. This isn't an ideal world. This is a Flavio Briatore run team, so anything's possible. I've heard that Valtteri Bottas might come in to that team because that seat desperately needs to score points. Alpine are dead last in the Constructors' Championship now, dead last, and they don't look like they're getting any quicker. That Renault engine of theirs is going to contribute absolutely nothing probably for the rest of the championship until the engine gets shut down at the end of the year and they end up putting a Mercedes in the back of that car for next season. So not a lot positive for Alpine right now. If they are looking for a second driver, if you're, say, a Valtteri Bottas and you have Cadillac potentially coming looking for you, or you're trying to shop yourself around to maybe another team, I don't know why you'd take a chance on Alpine. That team looks like a hot mess. They're almost like the new Haas. I mean, in the way that Haas a couple of seasons ago were almost rudderless, just kind of like lurching from bad performance to bad performance, bad season to bad season, catastrophe to catastrophe, embarrassment to embarrassment. There's a reason Steiner was a meme, and it's because he was losing his shit because he was inept and the team fucking sucked. But Haas are getting it somewhat together now. 14th and 18th on the grid isn't really getting it together, but they're better than that overall. It's a very tightly contested midfield, actually, except for Alpine, which I gotta tell you, Gasly being 8th on the grid today just shows the kind of effort that he's putting in and shows his worth to that team. So I don't know what the fuck's going to go on with Alpine from here on out, if they're going to hang around, if they're going to sell up, if they're going to sell a majority, minority, whatever. We'll see. Either way, they do have a new team boss in, actually. Well, team boss in name only, because Flavio was running the show. I've got his name, which I'm blanking on right now. Oh, Steve Nielsen, of course. Steve Nielsen. He's been in and around the paddock. He was at Renault about 20 odd years ago. He was at Renault when they were competitive as well. So he's been all over the place. He knows a lot, but again, what is he really running at the team? What is Flavio running? It's part of the reason I just find them a little bit of a hopeless case. I'm not sure anybody knows what is going on there. Either way, that's enough talk about Alpine, because I doubt we'll mention them for the rest of the race. Depending on what Gasly can do, at least. Now, other bits of news. FIA presidential race. Carlos Sainz Sr. has officially said he's not contesting it. He never officially contested it at all. He's never said that he's going to do it, but that was the hot ticket, that was the rumour. That's done. It's over. So Tim Mayer, who's the son of Teddy Mayer, who used to run, or used to own the McLaren team, I think in the 70s, and years ago. Sponsor king, a bit of a Zach Brown figure for back then. His son, who's been a Formula 1 steward for 15 seasons, who is no longer a steward because he was sacked last season. He's thrown his hat into the ring as we're just looking at the grid on this Sky F1 broadcast. As always, about 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes or so, only about 1.5 minutes actually till lights out the formation lap, so fantastic. We're getting underway very quickly. So, Tim Mayer, watch this space. We'll see what he can do. He says that he's very disappointed with Mohammed Ben Sulayem and how he runs the FIA. I think a lot of people are. This is one of those just tricky political sort of things. This isn't really sporting at all. This is just pure politics, so, you know. I don't think it's really worth mentioning anything more until the presidential race actually starts kicking up a gear in the next couple of months. I think the vote is in November or December, so end of the season. It's probably not worth mentioning that much until then because there's not a lot to mention other than Tim Mayer is officially contesting. Now, it looks like the sun is out. It looks like the track is drying up. And it looks like everyone is starting on inters, which is fantastic because if the rain stays away, bit of radio, what's the latest forecast? Perfectly on time. Expecting around lap 15 to 17, potentially heavy rain cell. So, now the plan is, can you get the inters to lap 15 to 17 if the storm cell comes? It's a stormy kind of day, which means rain, shine, rain, shine. Look at that. It's a glorious blue sky behind the grid. Absolutely fantastic. The sun is bearing down on them, and it is a British summer as well. I mean, it's a very British summer. You can tell because it's raining, but it is a sunny day. Looks like the track could dry. Can you get to the pit stop? There's a lot going on here, actually, so I've got to break it down really quick as the tyre warmers are starting to come off. We're about to start the formation lap, actually. Basically, the name of the game today. Can you stretch the inters out until the pit stop? And when the pit stop is, depends on when that rain cell comes, if it comes. There's been a lot of rain fuckery in F3 and F2 so far. In F3, the guys who started on inters absolutely won the day. The guys who gambled starting on slicks, all of them went straight to the back, and they never recovered because the rain came again. F2, the same thing. Some gambled on slicks, didn't work out. Some gambled on wets, and the tyres just ate themselves because they're Pirellis. Formation lap is about to start now. There we go, and green light. Away the safety car goes, and the grid should be following soon. Now, any other news worth mentioning in the about 2 minutes that we've got before lights out? New bits and bobs on the cars. Ferrari look quick again. 5th and 6th on the grid is a little bit of a... it's disappointing for them because Hamilton was absolutely in the fight for pole and ended up screwing his lap. Leclerc as well. He's looked quick. He's looked bloody quick all weekend and just didn't quite get it together. I was really cussing himself out in the radio, so expecting a lot more out of Ferrari, probably for the rest of the season. I think it's too late to do anything meaningful this year for the championship. They're not going to win the World Championship. That's done. That ship has absolutely sailed. There's no reason to think McLaren are going to fall behind Ferrari. And even if they did, they're still too far ahead. They have such a massive lead in the Constructors' Championship already. It's over. It's done. Completely done. I'd say the Drivers' Championship also completely over, unless something catastrophic happens to McLaren, which I don't see happening. Their battle is going to be a fun one, though. Like I was saying all last season, well, the second half of last season, as I've been saying this season, how long can it stay cordial? There's Drivers' Championship right on cue. So Piastri 216, Norris 15 points behind, 201, Verstappen 155. So Verstappen, for all intents and purposes, done. It's over. It's so over. 61 points off the lead now. Forget it. He's not coming back from that. Not when Piastri's been as strong as he has. Norris too. There's no way. So Verstappen going for the odd win, I think, for the rest of the season. Ferrari probably also trying to gun for the odd win. George Russell, maybe even Kimi Antonelli, going to gun for the odd win. But to my mind, I think McLaren is going to win out most of the season. I don't think they're going to win every race from here on out, because logic dictates that they're going to drop a few races at least. Especially with how close the drivers have been competing. Almost crashed into each other in Austria, did crash into each other, or rather came together in Canada. Logic dictates that that's going to happen again, so we'll see. Gigantic Lewis Hamilton beside the track. It's a pretty decent view point that he's got on the Hangar Straight. And there's real Lewis Hamilton going through the Hangar Straight. Look at that crowd, absolutely phenomenal. 500,000 for the weekend. You are fucking kidding. That is just phenomenal. We've got cars in the pits. Who's that? Who's that? George Russell, Charles Leclerc in the pits to start the race. Here we go. So this is what I was saying. Are they going to gamble with slicks already? I don't know about that. They are. They're going to put the slick tyres on. Who else? Bortoletto and Behrman as well. And Hadjar and Colapinto. Well, Colapinto was starting from the pit lane, wasn't he? Now that is very interesting. There's going to be a lot of spare space on the grid here. Not quite the Hungary 2021 that I was expecting. Piastri, last sector is too wet for slicks. Fuck, you'd think so. It looks very sunny though, and nothing dries the track up, quite like 20 odd F1 cars going around it. Oh, this is going to be very, very intense. Here we go. Green flag at the back. We're about to go racing. 1, 2, 3 lights. 4, 5, out. Surely. Verstappen, Piastri. Side by side into turn 1. Verstappen's got it. Piastri at the back. Oh, rather Piastri just behind him. Norris stays in third. McLaren side by side into turn 3. And they get out of there just fine. That's an Williams getting pushed aside. No, sorry, that's a Mercedes getting pushed aside next to a Williams. It looks like there's no contact either. Oh, somebody's off. Who was that? Now, was that collected? That looked like an AlphaTauri. Oh, whatever the fuck they call themselves nowadays. Lawson. It was Liam Lawson. Goodness me, I just see a car just go flying off in the back there. We haven't gone back to him, but I can see on the track map it is Liam Lawson. Looks like he stopped, actually. He's, doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Ocon, I've got damage, yeah. So, a Haas, I'm presuming Ocon and Lawson have gotten together. Not like that, you sicko. Oh, there's Lawson. Look at that rear wing, it's a little bit shaky, so he's definitely made contact with the barrier there. It wasn't just a straight slide off. This is Lewis Hamilton on Lando Norris. At Stowe, doesn't quite get it done. Norris manages to hang on. Going into club corner, Norris stays ahead. Now that could be very, very vital, because there could well be a safety car. Lawson still has not moved from there. Now he might have found... somewhere to pull off the track, and it looks like he has. Virtual safety car, okay. So Lawson's actually disappeared from the track counter. Wait, am I bugging? Did did Colapinto not even take the start? He mustn't have. Shit, I must have missed that. I didn't even see that get announced. Well, how about that? No Franco Colapinto at all today. It's got to be, I mean, no shit, but it's definitely got to be like a technical issue, like his car didn't fire up right or something. Which happens sometimes, so no, we will not get a full grid of Formula 1 cars after all. After I was just saying we've got a full grid of F1 cars, no, we in fact don't. So, interestingly, it looks like Leclerc and Bortoletto are the only runners on mediums. Which can't be true, because I'm looking at George Russell right now, and he's on the hard tyres, so, I mean, Lord knows what the timing tower's saying today. It's been a bit fucking glitchy lately, hasn't it? I remember a couple of races ago it was just bugging constantly. Like bugging the order, not displaying any tyres whatsoever. Made it like a classic race when nobody knew what compounds were on the cars. Now this is a replay. Ocon, oh, that's a bit, yeah, Lawson's car's fucked. That's a big hit. That's a big hit. You could just see the suspension just buckle immediately on Lawson's car. So it's a shame for Liam coming off what was, to date, his best ever finish. Yeah, just got squeezed, really. Just a shame that, more than anything. Lawson, who the hell was that? Whoever was next to me just drove straight into the side of me. Yeah, kind of. Now, stewards are pretty lenient on lap 1 on incidents like that. To me, that just looked like a bog standard classic 2 into 1 doesn't go. So Kimi Antonelli's in the pits as well. So he'll be switching to slicks, I presume. Yes, he is. And look at Antonelli coming out, still ahead of George Russell. So that shows just how... he's almost off the track there as well. They've even been under a VSC, but the slick runners just absolutely have not been able to keep up so far. They are just wheeling that car as slowly as possible. The whole track is good for slicks apart from the last 2 corners. So Antonelli coming out ahead of George Russell, that's it's surprising because even though it's only a VSC and it is a quick pit stop for Antonelli, it's only the first couple of laps. Or I mean, granted, Russell and Leclerc and all that started from the pit, so it would have set them back a little bit, but that's still to me it says there might be not great traction for the slicks. Just watching the replay of the start here, so it all looked pretty well behaved until the Racing Bull and Esteban Ocon got together. Now it looked like, was that Tsunoda as well near them? It couldn't have been though. Tsunoda's in 9th. I'm pretty sure it was a Red Bull though. It looked like a Red Bull. Which it must have been Tsunoda, who was up on the inside of them. I'm pretty sure I saw a Red Bull nose there. Now, here's Ocon. Yeah, it was a Red Bull. Yeah, it was Tsunoda. How about that? Which is surprising because Tsunoda started 11th, Ocon started 14th. I suppose Hajjar was next to Tsunoda and he started in the pits. Either way, how about that? End result is Liam Lawson is out of the race. Ocon, I'm assuming, has big damage on that car as well because that was a fair hit. So VSC has gone lap 4. Here we go, Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Hamilton. Rain expected in 10 laps, says the radio. To Lewis Hamilton. This just becomes a guessing game. Can you guess the weather? The thing is, the gamble is, ooh, that's Bortoletto out. Jesus. And he's on the slicks too. Now, where was that? Turn 1, 2. Yeah, you know what? I get the feeling, oh, no, he's gotten it going again. So he'll have to do almost a full lap though with bits falling off the car. You can see on the track map, top right of the screen, just Antonelli and the rest of the dry runners have fallen so far behind everybody who stayed on inters. Now this is what I was saying at the start of the race. Can you gamble on the inters? Can you run the inters before they start giving up the goes, before they start giving up all of this time? Excuse me, do you mind? Before they start giving up all the time to the slick runners? Yeah, Bortoletto just cooked it. And boop, into the barrier. Pretty light contact in the end, but that's really all you need. That rear wing's fucked. I'd say he's done. It doesn't take a lot to destroy these cars if you hit them in just the right spot. Yeah, look at that. It's already starting to shit bits all over the side of the road. Actually quite lucky that that rear wing end plate did not land on the track, or that could well have been a safety car. I mean, you can see there looks like definitely there's more rain coming. The clouds around the circuit are quite substantial. It's definitely raining then there, Hills. Another yellow flag. Well, what's this for? Is this for Bortoletto? Could well be for Bortoletto here. So the yellow is into Cop's corner as well. I wonder if he's just been shitting. No, Bortoletto has stopped. So that's going to be, I'm assuming, another VSC because he's well off the racing line. Retire the car. Was radio to Bortoletto and it looks like he's done so. Oh, Max really squirrely in the S's there. Now, if they are going to go for a VSC, the last thing Max wants is to give up the lead. Norris, meanwhile, has dropped quite a bit of time behind these two, about 3 seconds off of this battle. Yeah, there we go, virtual safety car. So, kind of what I was expecting. Let's sync that up a little bit better. There we go. Bortoletto climbs out and he's done. So fuck, we've already lost 3 runners. Not great. It's only what, lap 5, lap 6? This is George Russell getting by Kimi Antonelli now. A lot of noise. I'm much quicker here, says George Russell. I wonder if he means that just in general. As a message to Toto Wolff. I'm much quicker here, so don't go after Max. Oh, look at that big slide. Max Verstappen. Now he was running in qualifying with a very trimmed out car, very trimmed wings. So generally he's better on the high speed stuff than in the corners, but somehow yesterday was finding just grip in the corners. Especially in the Maggots Beckett's Chapel section of Silverstone. That is all. Basically, if you're running almost no wing there, if you're running really trimmed, oh, you can see the rain coming as well. If you're running really trimmed there, then you should be losing time. You absolutely should be losing time because you don't have the downforce that other cars would be running, which McLaren were and which Ferrari were. They were running more downforce there. Red Bull were trying to offset that just by running almost zero wing, which makes them very quick on the straights, but going through the corners like that, it all comes down to, if you don't have the downforce that the other cars have, it all comes down to finesse and how you can glide your car through them. And this is where the good and the great get separated, and Max absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it. You can just see the difference. Like, there's massive storm clouds coming. Massive storm clouds coming. Now, I'm surprised actually that Mercedes have put both of their cars on the same strategy here. I think that might have been a mistake. If they're both on the hards and it looks like the rain is coming, then they were both going to have to get on the inses very quickly. Light rain around 6 laps, then heavy rain after that. Stroll in the pits. Now what is this? They're still wheeling Bortoletto's car, but that's well off. That's well away from the racing line, so it should be fine there. I always get a bit, it's always a bit nervy when you got marshals or tractors or whatever on the track, especially in conditions like this. It doesn't take a lot. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot for, especially half the runners running in on slick tires on a damp track. It really doesn't take a lot for a car to just go flying off, and it could happen anywhere. I've always been terrified of actually seeing that sort of shit. I think F1 has escaped so many times over the years. It's Kevin Magnussen, he's back with Sauber. How about that? At least he's back in the Sauber garage, to my mind. I don't recall him ever racing for Sauber. I don't remember him even being in the conversation to ever race for Sauber. We're back! Racing again. Here we go. So Verstappen, Piastri, Norris. Looks like there is very heavy rain on the way as well. Which means Stroll, Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc, Hadjar, and Behrman might all be eating a lot of shit very soon. Either they make a lot of time in the next few laps before the rain gets here, or they might have punted their race now. Piastri is right up the arsehole of Max Verstappen. Just sticking to him. Absolutely sticking to him. Not a lot of spray coming up off of these cars anymore either, so you'd think it's about time for the slicks. You can see Max and Piastri. Now, when they're sliding around that much on the inters, it's not so much because the track's wet, it's because their tyres are just cooking. There's no grip left on them. They're going to have to get offline and try to find, and you can see them here, trying to get offline to reset. Max is trying to break the toe for Oscar Piastri, trying to force him to the outside, which is generally a good move. We're seeing the racing rules this year that if you can get a car on the inside, you can just basically fire the other guy off to the outside and fuck him. Oh, look at Piastri. He really, really looks on it today. Really looks on it. He looks so much quicker than Max. So much quicker. I think Max is going to have to use everything he's got here just to stay ahead. Oh, Max is really, really wide at cops. Oh, side by side. No, Oscar backs out of it. Smart move. Now, the one other thing Max Verstappen has in his arsenal... Oh, big slide again! Going onto the hanger straight. Surely Piastri's going to get by him here. I was about to say, the extra thing Max has in his arsenal here is he's not fighting for a championship. He doesn't give a shit about that. Just the win. Doesn't even matter. Max back to second. Oscar Piastri makes the move into Stowe corner. Down the inside. Lovely stuff. And then into club. Well ahead. Fuck, Oscar's going to spoil the party here. Russell radio, it's raining, brilliant. I think that might be sarcasm. Get the feeling it might be sarcasm. I don't know why Mercedes haven't split their strategy. Very, very bold of them. They must have been adamant that the rain was not coming. It's the only reason that you would pit both of your cars and put them both on the slicks. Either they thought everybody else was going to do it, that no one was going to make it, and maybe no one would have made it. Oh, side by side, Antonelli, Charles Leclerc. Maybe if the race had stayed green, maybe the Inter runners would not have made it. Luck in the favour of the Inter runners. There was enough VSC running. In fact, it was almost all VSC running, and now it looks like the rain is back, so that would have helped preserve their tyres a bit. And it means that they don't then have to pit to put Inters on when the next bit of rain comes. Now, looks like the track map says it's in the Cops corner and at the end and start of the lap where the Inter tyre is quicker. Oh, on board with Charles Leclerc here, really, really close to Antonelli. Right behind him, Stroll's making moves as well. He's already made up 2 places. This is Leclerc going to look at Cops. Oh, very close, but Antonelli shuts the door quite adeptly there. Slams the door like Charles Leclerc was a bad date. Stroll's making moves, I got to tell you. I mean, he is the lead driver on slick tyres, and for right now, those slick tyres look like they're working. Charles Leclerc around the outside of Antonelli into Stowe corner, gets it done brilliantly. Oh, Antonelli's given it up. He's going to the pits. I think he's going to put rain tyres on. Now, is this... because the slick runners look like they're quick. They definitely look like they're quick. I mean, Antonelli's in the pits. Hulkenberg's in the pits as well. Is this... the slick runners maybe... well, Hulkenberg's actually pitting, it looks like, for New Winters, so it could have been that... I want to see what Hulkenberg's put on, because it looks like he had Inters on before, surely, I'm pretty sure. So he might have just burned through his. Which means that the slick tyres, ideally, they should be quicker here, because if the Inters aren't working anymore, but you can see the rain. This is part of the fun. With our races like this, when you got storm cells coming in and out of the place, it makes everything just a bit of a gamble. That Stroll putting another move on Albon as well, off camera, so definitely those slick tyres are working. For now, at least, the softs are working. Lance is the only driver on the soft compound as well. Norris 1.420 seconds behind. If it really starts to hard, Verstappen complaining about his Inters. Yeah, I mean, you could see that with how much he was just sliding around in the S's after cops. You're asking a lot of your tyres there, and if your tyres are starting to melt, like the Pirelli Inters tend to do. But look at the rain now already on the Hamilton straight. Into turn 1, turn 2. The rain is definitely back. DRS disabled. Stroll up to 5th, and in the pits as well. So, Charles Leclerc, box. Russell in the pits too. Oh, that is a lot of rain. Yeah, looking down the Wellington straight, my god, that is proper rain, that is. That is a right real shower. Oh, look at Norris. Now, has Norris just been preserving his Inter tyres? Piastri didn't look like he took that much out of them when he was getting by Verstappen, though. He followed him for a couple of laps, but it didn't look like he put that much damage on him. 5.5 seconds up the road would suggest that Piastri's tyres are indeed just fine. Max, I think... oh, look how slow he is coming out of cops. Lando Norris side by side, Piastri box. Now, this would be for new Inters, surely. They've definitely got a window for it. Max! Big off, and he's gone off again. Had a big slide at least twice in that corner before. Now he's gone off completely. Dang, look at that. Norris is through easily. Now, I wonder if they're going to pit Norris as well. Oscar Piastri into the pits. Lando Norris follows him in. Max Verstappen follows him in as well. So McLaren double stacking. Oh, this is intense. Now, what's Hamilton going to do? Surely Hamilton... is he going to pit? Still coming around the final couple of corners. Looks like he is pitting. Gasly, Alonso, Sainz. All of them in the pits. Looks like Max Verstappen's got out ahead of Lando Norris as well, so that double stack has hurt Lando Norris after all. Goodness me, look at the Williams go through in a second. The Williams of Alex Albon, who has not pitted, up in a second. Ocon has not pitted. Hamilton out of the pits. Stroll has jumped him as well. So Stroll, even with the soft tyre switch, it looks like he's made up a lot of time. That might actually be a killer move from Aston Martin there. Stroll's always been very handy in conditions like this as well. Always been very good at driving it. Actually, I've seen Lance has been testing a rally car lately as well, so maybe putting his best strengths to good use in another discipline soon, perhaps. Who knows? That's Max Verstappen getting by Alex Albon, so Verstappen up to second place. We'll see if these tyres help him out anymore. Now, Piastri is 9 seconds up the road, but it is only lap 12. A long way to go here. Max could absolutely catch him up if he has the car to do it. Lando Norris stuck behind Alex Albon, so Verstappen is absolutely going to escape up the road here for a bit. Now, the call to Alex Albon, box box, so I couldn't imagine he'll be fighting this too hard. Lando Norris goes through and into third. He's about 2 seconds behind Max Verstappen, but importantly, there is no DRS, so none of that within a second nonsense. Norris Radio saying they expect at least 10 minutes of rain. Goodness me, so Albon, looks like is Ocon in the pits as well? Now, it wasn't even the double stack, it just looked like a really slow stop for Lance Stroll. Not Lance Stroll, sorry, for Lando Norris. Yeah. Now, what happened? It must have been like a tyre sticking or something. Front left. Yeah, front left. Didn't want to go on. Or didn't want to come off, rather. What can you do now? That is a very wet track. Just look at the spray coming off. Now that is just incredible. You can see the onboard there with Lewis Hamilton, just how intense the spray is. It's not just the falling rain that limits visibility here. More than anything, it's the spray and the current era of Formula One cars with ground effect, flaws, just the sheer amount of downforce that they create. Not even so much the tyres, but just the downforce itself just throws so much water into the air. I mean, you can see Lando here struggling to see where he is, pulls out of line. I don't even think that is strictly to make a move or to put pressure on. I think he's just trying to see where he is. Hamilton, it's definitely wet tyres right now, he says. Now, Ocon, if everybody has to go to wets, and I don't think they want to, because the wet tyres, nobody likes them. Nobody is ever really a fan of them. They joke and call them the safety car tyres, because by the time they put the wets on, they declare it too wet and then the safety car comes out. It's kind of inters or nothing. Yellow flag. What's that for? It's just a very, very momentary yellow flag. No, yellow flag, back and off again. Safety car. Oh, look at that rain. My goodness. Oh, come on. Don't safety car me. Come on. Ah, what a load of bollocks. It was all fine. A track like this, yeah, it's high speed, but it's lower speed in the rain. But more importantly, there is about 10 miles of runoff pretty much at every corner, you know. God, please, guys, don't red flag this race. Please, I am begging you, don't red flag this race. Either way, lap 14. That was frantic, wasn't it? We're 14 laps in now. Safety car is out. Piastri, Verstappen, Norris, Stroll up to 4th. I told you he was on the move. Hulkenberg in 5th. Gasly 6th. Ocon, who is still running old inters, in 7th. Hamilton, Russell, Alonso. That's your top 10. Sainz, Albon, Tsunoda, Leclerc, Antonelli, Hadjar, Behrman. And that's all your runners. Now, what is this? Lewis Hamilton. That would have been Esteban Ocon going by him. Look at the spray. Oh, so that was the yellow flag. That was Charles Leclerc just absolutely going lawn mowing. I mean, that's one way to do the S's. He's, yeah, just kind of gone a little bit wide, and then there's just no... It's actually a clever move by Leclerc. There's no point trying to steer. There's water that came into my visor. I couldn't see anything. Like a huge splash of water. Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, what can you do? That's McLaren going very, very slowly as well. I mean, it is a safety car, but even then, you can see just how treacherous the conditions are. Now, the big problem is the inters. When they do too much running behind a safety car, they just cool down, the pressures come down, and then it's really, really difficult to get them back into optimal operating temperature and pressure, which means that generally they tend to be a bit fucking useless. Like, once a green flag running, Starts happening again. You got tyres that just won't play ball with you. Stroll's fucking killing it. I gotta tell you, Stroll is absolutely killing it. Look at that. Started 17th, now 4th. I said he's good in these conditions. He generally does well when it's raining. There's something about that. I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, he gets clowned on, I think, way too much. Disproportionately, I think. I think a lot of it comes down to a lot of people just being flat envious of his dad's money, which he can't fucking help. I mean, from most accounts, he's generally fine. Now, there was a story about him losing his mind at Spain, how exaggerated that is. You know, there are stories like this all the time. Lewis Hamilton's broken helmets and factory equipment and doors and shit. Not factory, garage rather, equipment and doors. Alonso put his helmet through a door at McLaren back in 2007. Kevin Magnussen Fox smashed a door, as we all remember. Like, these guys are high performance athletes running on a lot of adrenaline. That said, I don't know, I think most of the time Stroll is very remarkably down to earth for somebody whose dad is worth billions of dollars. I think he gets overhated for that as well. And I tell you, his old man has actually built something out of this team. It's not paying off right now, but it will. It absolutely will. Their factory is right next to this track, actually, and it has grown enormously. Enormously. They got a tech deal with Honda coming in, a proper factory deal, a factory Honda engine, which that team has not had since, 2002. Big things in the future, I think. Adrian Newey as well, who apparently was spotted working completely by himself after hours at the factory, according to a couple of journalists who were doing a tour of the new Aston Martin campus next to Silverstone the other day. Apparently Newey was the only guy left on his floor after hours, still at his whiteboard, or at his drawing board, still drawing things. Safety car in these conditions only serves to bunch the field up. Might be more dangerous than just leaving them spaced apart. It's fair. It does really bunch them up, which you think getting a whole lot more cars in a direct line of spray might be more dangerous, and you'd think that, and you'd be right, because it is. I think... Oh, look at the safety car also, struggling for grip here. I think the... no, what's Alonso going to say? Now Alonso just trying to gauge what kind of tyres everyone else around him is on. Generally, you'd run the safety car until the spray isn't that much of an issue anymore. The best thing they can do is to keep these guys running on the track. The worst thing I think that they can do now is to throw a red flag, and I see it a lot in Formula One. They panic and they throw a red flag. Sometimes, fair enough, fair enough, when it looks like the racing is just totally cooked and it's not going to happen for a while. But conditions like this, generally the best thing to do, especially with a passing shower, is to ride it out. Keep the cars on the track, keep them circulating, because like I was saying before, nothing clears water off an F1 track better than an F1 car. The amount of water that they can suck up off the ground and throw into the air and just leave it. I mean, look at the racing line already, and that track was getting absolutely drenched not a few minutes ago, and you can see a clear racing line even under the safety car. This is how efficient they are at getting rid of water off their tyres. Now, what the safety car does do also is it bunches everybody up, and it means that we're going to get a nice, good restart, so hang around for that. There's just a slow motion of Oscar Piastri in the rain. I don't think... that's Max Verstappen in the rain. Nothing really going on except for it looking absolutely keno. I tell you, while we're under the safety car, and it looks like we'll be under the safety car for another lap at least. Yet to pit Esteban Ocon. Yeah, he is yet to pit, so it's working for him so far. I don't know how much grip he's got left on those inters, but it's definitely working for him so far. I think if he thinks that they might either red flag this race, or you just try to keep up. You try to keep up until everybody else starts pitting, whether that's for new inters or for slicks or for whatever. You got to just kind of stay in the game. Now, Esteban Ocon started this race 14th, I think he was. So he's out of the points. He's thrown a total gamble to get into the points, and it's absolutely worked. You just got to stick there now. You have to stick there and just see what will happen. Once you throw the Hail Mary and you're in that situation, the best thing is to just ride it out. Just do whatever you can. And having significantly worn inters is a big gamble for them, because when they go back to racing speed, the most likely guy to go off the road because of a lack of grip from his tyres is Esteban Ocon. But if he can get through that, he might end up with a point or two. You never know. Looks like Max Verstappen just avoiding Piastri there. I don't think there's any games there. Like Red Bull were pretty... they get pretty paranoid sometimes, I've noticed. Like they start finding slights and things that are just totally innocuous. Like George Russell brake testing Max. Maybe there was 5% of that, but 95% of it is just warming tyres, you know. Say the same thing is happening here. Nobody's really trying to brake test anybody, because there's every chance that you end up eating a car up your backside if you start doing that behind the safety car. Yeah, I don't think any of those games are getting played by Piastri though. I think he's all above board. I think he's doing just fine. Safety car ending. So safety car is ending this lap. So that means we will save the talk about where Max Verstappen may or may not be going next season until there's another lull in action, because I get the feeling it might well kick off here. Ed Westwick, I don't know who the fuck that is. I must have completely fallen off as far as Hollywood actors and shit go. I don't know who any of these guys are. Even worse when they get like music celebrities. I don't know who fucking most of them are. I am about as uncool of a kid as you'll find. Now, on board with George Russell. Down in 9th. Ugh. Yeah, I think Mercedes have absolutely screwed up here. 15th for Antonelli, 9th for Russell. Merc, not good. Now, here's Piastri taking the restart through the final corner. Max Verstappen follows him. Lando Norris right behind him. So Oscar's not really stolen a march on anyone here. George Russell absolutely hanging with Lewis Hamilton here on the restart. Big ones to watch: Stroll, Hulkenberg, Gasly and Ocon. Mostly because they are out of position, and they are going to be a whole lot of fun to watch here. Now that is George Russell going through on Lewis Hamilton there, so good move, George. Look at the spray as well. The thing is, now that the cloud... Oh, big hit. A lot of argy-bargy going back there between Hamilton and Russell and Ocon. Or that's Tsunoda getting into it with Charles Leclerc as well back there. Now the thing is, with passing showers like this, you get a whole lot of spray, and when the clouds have moved, you get a whole lot of sunlight, and shining a whole lot of sunlight through that spray is never good. That's Leclerc and Tsunoda getting very, very close. I thought that was going to be a crash. Leclerc's actually got it through there, so Tsunoda just manages to avoid it. Just the momentum that Charles Leclerc was carrying into that corner. God, I would have thought for all my money, just like last week in Austria. I thought that we were looking at a crash unfolding, and it just wasn't happening. Look at that spray. That's what happens when the sunlight comes through it. Once the clouds go, it's actually easy to see when you're not just getting all that water going through all the sunlight going through all the spray. That just turns it into like a proper white sheet of light over your eyes. Who's that? Isaac Hadjar. Slow. Stopped. Ooh, big hit actually. Yeah, he's absolutely stopped. His that car is fucked. Isaac Hadjar in the wall. Oh, that is a big hit. Hadjar saying that he's okay. That is a big hit. That car is totally fucked. Just look at the debris there. So he's hit the wall and just continued travelling down it. Goodness me, that's a big hit for Isaac Hadjar. I was thinking off at cops, like the best case scenario is the car has broken. The worst case scenario is you've gone off and had a hit there, because that is a very, very high speed corner. Even in the rain, that's very high speed. Ocon finally pits under a safety car, which is, well, I mean, he's basically forced into this now. It's going to dump him near the back of the queue. In fact, it's going to dump him at the back of the queue. So, like I was saying before, you got to try to stick it, but that only works if everybody else around you starts pitting as well. Looks like Ocon's tyres just weren't going to hang along at all. Isaac's still in the car, just getting out now. So, yeah, looks like he's just looking at him, it looks like he's uninjured there. Now here we are on board with Isaac Hadjar. I'm expecting the car to just throw him off the road. No, he's gone into the back. Who was that? Was that a Mercedes? I didn't see him. He appeared out of nowhere. Oh my god, absolutely he appeared out of nowhere. This is the spray. This is what I was talking about. It's so hard to see. It was a Mercedes. It was Antonelli. Oh, big hit. And how did Kimi Antonelli hang on to that one as well? Damn, Kimi Antonelli got absolutely shoved up the arse there. Now, this is Lewis Hamilton. This is just the restart. Getting passed by George Russell and then going around George Russell and Esteban Ocon as well. Still got it. There's still a lot of he's still got it in Lewis Hamilton. I don't think he's as quick as he used to be. I think he would admit that himself, but situations like this, races like this, you can see he's still quite canny. He's still very good at wheel-to-wheel sort of stuff. I feel like that's almost underselling him. He's still extremely good at wheel-to-wheel stuff. Extremely, extremely good at wheel-to-wheel stuff. Now, just looking at the back of Kimi Antonelli. Now, it was a pretty straight hit up the back. And it was a high-speed section. It was a high-speed hit. But the difference in speed, I don't think, was that big between those cars. Now, it was enough to push Antonelli off the road. I'd say it's definitely going to have done damage to his diffuser, which is going to be about as much fun as a trip to the dentist today, but he could potentially still race on that. You really do need as much of your car working as you can at all times, but especially on days like this when you really, really need to second guess where the traction is every corner, every lap. You need to be able to rely on your car to do what you want and when you want it. You know what? I take back what I said. I don't think there is anybody... I did say before at the start of this that nobody liked meeting celebrities more than Stefano Domenicali. I take that back. This TV director, I think, is the #1 fan of celebrities. 368 career race starts for Lewis Hamilton. My goodness, he's been around a while, hasn't he? Fucking hell. I suppose he's been around for nearly 20 years. It's incredible the how long some of these guys are hanging around this sport nowadays. Like Hulkenberg has been around for the better part of 15, 16 years, with a little bit of a gap in between. The investigation after race between Hadjar and Antonelli. I suppose they want to ask Antonelli what happened before they start throwing penalties around. Hulkenberg's been around for forever. Hamilton, Alonso started in 2001. Like, I was still in fucking high school when Alonso started racing Formula One. Paul Stoddart was a thing when they started racing. Ooh. Byrne's got his work cut out for him in the safety car. It's not very nice in an F1 car, so yeah. Piastri complaining about standing water at turn 2. more than anything, did the safety car just run over debris? I'm assuming that that has come off of Antonelli's car. Whether it's a bit of wing or diffuser or floor, bodywork, whatever, but it definitely looked like there was something on the track in the hangar straight, which you really don't want. I think the last thing you really need on a day like today is a puncture going into Stowe Corner. Box, Kimi Antonelli, so I think they're not only going to change tyres here, they're going to have a good look at the back of that car. It might be fucked, to be honest. It could well be fucked. Now, Antonelli and Verstappen are going to be apparently having a dinner as like a sporting way of saying sorry for Austria, so bless him. Good on Max as well, because he wasn't hard on Kimi Antonelli for that, and I don't think he needed to be. I think rookies, like I was saying before, rookies make rookie mistakes. Sometimes very high-profile rookie mistakes, and they take out very high-profile drivers. I remember Michael Schumacher took out Senna in France when he was just starting his Formula One career, and yeah, it looks like that is a giant chunk of diffuser that's broken off and is continuing to break off of Kimi Antonelli's car. I mean, they have had a look at it. They've sent him on his way, so I'm assuming that the team is saying, yeah, nothing else is going to fall off that. Maybe. Actually, what's surprising, this weekend is Ocon Radio, clever from Mercedes, hot tyres now to restart. So Ocon, I think, is complaining that maybe they're brake testing. Or is that just he thinks that Antonelli's pit stop is entirely strategic rather than a necessity? Generally, the drivers will get a decent idea of what's going on in the race around them with these giant TV screens by the side of the track. They learn where they are, and especially when there's not much going on, like under the safety car, they can look at these TV screens and get just a decent gauge of who is where and who is doing what, especially if they're showing like highlights and things like that. Oh, look at... Oh, this isn't going to be good. This looks like China last year. Everybody's backing up on the hangar straight, and there's a lot of spray. Piastri is really blocking up everybody here. You can start to see now there is no crash. Safety car is ending, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that, but Piastri is on his way. Oh, Verstappen's going around. Verstappen's around. He spins. He spins. He's fucked it. It's over. Oh my goodness, he rejoins in the middle of the Williams. Where is that? 10th place, I think? Oh, wow. Fuck. Oh my goodness, how about that? Just looped it coming out of Stowe. On the restart, just absolutely fucked it before he even got to the restart. God, that's amazing. Well, that's something else to look for the rest of it. Safety car infringement Piastri, so that's Piastri braking a lot under the safety car. That's Verstappen, again, going wide, struggling. That's Alex Albon going right by him. Both Williams running the points now. Verstappen down to 11th. Only Leclerc between himself and Tsunoda. Oh, and he's trying to go straight back down the inside of Albon, and he gets it back. Meanwhile, Behrman's gone through the inside of Tsunoda. Now, what is this? Behrman dropping down the order? Must have just missed a timing line, because I can see him right there. No, there he is. He definitely did miss a timing line. That's actually Ocon that I was seeing behind the Red Bull. What in the world is going on? This really is one of those races, isn't it? 22 laps in, and it's just been non-stop action so far. We're not even halfway through. Unbelievable. Now, what is this? A replay? Oscar Piastri. This will just be him. Whoa, really brake checking, and Verstappen has gone right by him. I don't know about that. That might be safety car infringement noted for Piastri. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, that's like I was saying before with George and all of that. I don't think Piastri's playing I don't think he's trying to get Max in trouble there. I think he's yeah, I think that's pretty fucking extreme. Oh, I think Behrman might have been actually pushed by the Red Bull there. It looks like he definitely looped it around quick, which makes me think that the Red Bull got into the back of him. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think Piastri might be getting a penalty for that. I mean, he can... Yeah, Tsunoda Behrman. Noted by the stewards, it's probably going to be a 5-second penalty, I would assume. Unless Tsunoda lets Behrman by, which is probably the least he could do right now. Maybe that will help him. Maybe that'll save him. Safety car infringement under investigation. I think Piastri's going to eat a penalty here. That was a... There's like a time and place that you can warm your brakes and things like that. I know he's trying to get distance with the safety car because he's trying to maximize his restart. And it is up to him to set the pace. That's fine. But, you know, there's doing that, and then there's also just slamming on the brakes in the middle of the hangar straight. So, yeah. I don't think that was malicious. I think it was just clumsy, probably, from Oscar Piastri. You're right, mate. I'm not talking to my cock, by the way. I've got something else down here. Not that way. Anyway, Verstappen now running still between the Williams, about a second behind Carlos Sainz. He's not looked all that comfortable with that car. Like, at all. I mean, it was kind of working while he was still running second, but now he's way, way off. Now, I tell you, if Piastri is going to eat a penalty here, then he's really going to have to push it. Really, really going to have to push it before I assume they stop again. Which means Norris has basically got this thing sorted. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll is running in third fucking place. There is no way. There is no way. I almost don't even want to jinx the guy. That's Antonelli's going very slow at the back as well. I don't think we'll see much more of him this race. Yeah, in the pits, I think he's done. I had just a brain fart earlier in the day, just thinking, I wonder if Stroll could get it, maybe a great result, maybe even a podium. If it's a crazy race, if there's a lot of rain and things like that, could we potentially get a Stroll podium? But my God, he's actually running there. I wouldn't expect him to finish there. Hamilton, maybe. He's looking racy. Russell, maybe. I don't know. Both of those cars are quicker than the Aston Martin as well. But right now, Lance running in third. Amazing. Hamilton's going off. He's gone off at cops. Back on track. Russell by him. And Russell gets by. God, you can see the complete lack of grip on some of these cars. They are really hanging on for dear life. This is fucking fantastic. Honestly, this right here is F1 racing at its best. This is just phenomenal. It's crazy. This might be the most action-packed race since maybe Silverstone in 22. Oh, and that was a wet dry race as well. That's Hamilton going off and Russell just going right by him. 10-second penalty for Piastri. 10 seconds. Phew. Well, that's it. He's fucked. He's done. I don't think he can make 10 seconds on Lando Norris. He's got 3 seconds on him right now, but I just don't see it. I mean, unless we are going to see something monumental out of Oscar Piastri today, I just don't see it. Hamilton saying the car's hard to drive, it's snappy like crazy. No doubt, it looks it. It looks insane. Whoop, you've emerged, have you? Oh. Thunk. And off to bed. Bless him. More well behaved this week. Loving it. Speaking of well behaved, George Russell looking right behind Pierre Gasly. Russell's driving angry today. I think his strategy has totally screwed him. I think he would have been running third uncontested if not for Mercedes' brain fart with the strategy. Sonoda, Bam, and under investigation. It'll be a 5-second penalty, I reckon, for Yuki. So, another race, another penalty probably for Yuki Tsunoda. You know. I'm not sure what is going on with that Red Bull seat, but at this point I'm ready to think it might genuinely be cursed. There is a monkey paw going around the paddock that people are finding one by one. Gasly, Albon, Perez, Liam Lawson, Yuki Tsunoda, all of them have all made a wish of this monkey paw. Please give me a race-winning car in Formula 1. And the monkey paw said, say no more, the cursed Red Bull seat. Oh, that's a replay of Verstappen going right by Piastri right before the restart. Oh, goodness me, it's been non-stop. It's been fantastic so far. The McLarens, look at them stretching their legs as well. Stroll, 11.5 seconds behind Norris. McLaren's really in a league of its own. Like, it really is. I mean, I know the Mercedes and the Ferraris and all of them are running in traffic, let alone Verstappen, but, I mean, when they want to get the hammer down, they really, really disappear. They disappear like a deadbeat dad gone for cigarettes. Look at that, Lewis Hamilton on George Russell gets it done into Stowe corner. So Hamilton is on the move. Russell, his momentum looks like it's come to a brief halt. Norris radio, what's this? Oscar 10-second penalty. We will not follow him into the pit stop. Ah, yeah, I suppose they can't double stack anymore. Could you imagine if they did, though? Like, what a blunder. I think if you're McLaren, if you're McLaren and you're Lando Norris and you follow Oscar Piastri into the pits, would McLaren, because it's quite an entry into the pits, you know, quite a way between committing to the pit lane and getting there and then actually getting to the pit box, I wonder if they would just send Oscar through for a drive-through. I wonder if Oscar would do it either. 10-second penalty for Tsunoda. 10 seconds, jeez. And he is behind Behrman as well on the track, so Tsunoda, it's all fucking going wrong again. Yeah, like I was just saying, I don't know what's going on with that seat. It just does not work. And that's between Lawson, Checo, the last couple of years, Tsunoda now. Everyone, that's three different drivers with three different skill sets and three good drivers as well. Hamilton, big snap of oversteer right there. Still very wet in the asses. It's three different drivers who just have not been able to wrangle anything out of that seat, out of that car specifically. So, I mean, you could change the driver again. Maybe you throw the dice on an Isaac Hadjar. Maybe you throw the dice on, maybe you get Checo Perez back. Maybe you throw the dice on Valtteri Bottas and see what he can do. Maybe you promote Lindblad straight into F1, which I don't think would be a good idea. Because he's still very, very, very young. Actually made his FP1 debut. So, Piastri just getting the news broken to him as lightly as possible. They're like, now Oscar, good thing you're taking a seat when we tell you this. Yeah, I don't know what you do with that Tsunoda seat. Nothing works. Nothing seems to work. And I still rate Tsunoda highly. I rated Checo very highly. Can't even stay with him. I'm so slow, Verstappen. So yeah, it's not like the Red Bull's all that great in these conditions anyway. If Verstappen's not making moves on a Williams, then you can tell that car kind of stinks. Meanwhile, Nico Hülkenberg in fourth. If anything happens to those McLarens, we could get Hülkenberg on the podium here. And everyone's just kind of, oh yes, Sonoda. Good grief, that was a bad move. So it wouldn't surprise me if Sonoda's also carrying damage, which is why he is 4.5 seconds off the back of Bem and dead last, even before the penalty. Look at Hamilton making moves on Gasly. Gasly forces him right out wide. Now, I think that was okay out of Gasly. I'm pretty sure the rules of engagement would deem that as being fine. I think I would deem that as being fine. It's just, it's forceful, but it's decent defending driving. F1 has turned into Tron for some reason. I mean, Hamilton aside, it looks like everyone's kind of just holding on to where they are right now. The Clerk versus Albon looks like it might get pretty fun. So really it's only the Ferrari guys hanging on to the cars ahead. Everyone else is sort of, I think, just trying to make it maybe to the next pit stops or just make it further into the race and see what they can do from there. Norris is hanging on to Piastri as well, so it's over. Norris is going to win this race and it's going to get it basically handed to him as well. Which, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. You could say Piastri's been a better driver than him today. Well, Piastri also made a big mistake that looks like it's going to cost him the race. Same with Verstappen. Pushed it too hard. Twice, actually, pushed it too hard and went off the road. So, Max is wringing everything he can out of that Red Bull, just wringing a little bit too much out of it. Look at Hamilton sizing up the move. He's going to do it on the inside. Now 22 laps to go. The podium's definitely on for Lewis Hamilton here. That's Stroll, Hulkenberg. And there's Hamilton not that far behind. Now Hamilton is going offline to try to cool those tyres down. It's not even that it's much of a dry line. I think he's just really been pushing those tyres, trying to get the overtakes to work. And look at that. We crossed the Stroll, and the McLarens are just nowhere in sight ahead of him. They have absolutely bolted. They have checked out like it's a hotel. God, I'd love to see Lance win a race, just one, just to see the reaction from the meme Twitter crowd. And I don't mean because I enjoy memes, I mean because a lot of them would have to eat their fucking words, and I find that hilarious. Not that I don't think we'll really have to worry about that ever, but it would be funny. Now, what is this? Gasly, Russell, Alonso. So Russell trying to follow Lewis Hamilton through on Pierre Gasly. Still got a little bit of work to do on that. Hamilton's absolutely left Russell behind, so any momentum Russell had just before has just totally left him. I was interested to see what Russell could do this week, actually. A wet race is a wet race, but it also means a lower temperature. And generally the Mercedes works a lot better in the lower temperatures, but looks like it's not really going anywhere today. Ooh, looks like everyone's really limited by these tyres, to be honest. There's a point where a wet race gets so wet that kind of making a move is almost impossible. You get these kind of train tracks or tram tracks that the cars will run on, where there is any sort of grip, and then anything beyond that is just, it's like you're driving on ice and it'll just throw you off the road. But that's not what's going on here. I think what's going on here is these Pirellis. I mean, everybody's been running them for about 19, 20, 21 laps. It looks like they're all starting to fall apart. The only one who has younger tyres is Ocon. 12 laps on those tyres, and he's not really going anywhere either. Norris has just caught up Piastri by a second as well, and they are nowhere near lap traffic, so I get the feeling we might get a replay of Piastri having a bit of a moment soon. Either that or Norris has just been really stepping on the gas. Now Hulkenberg about a second behind Stroll. This is for third place. Hamilton 4 seconds behind these two though, so if Lewis can keep his momentum going, I get the feeling Lewis will be on the podium after all. Charles Leclerc's down in 12th, by the way, so he's having a fucking nightmare back there. Just cannot get by Alex Albon. Verstappen can't get by Carlos Sainz. Everyone's really struggling to make any sort of moves here. Like I was saying this before, I think the tyres might be cooking themselves. In which case, everyone, it looks like, unless another storm cell comes through, everyone, it looks like, is trying to just ride this out until it turns into slicks. And you really don't want to go too early as well. Maybe unless you're Yuki Tsunoda or one of the Haas cars or even Charles Leclerc, you could throw a Hail Mary and just see what happens. Yeah, Stroll radio just saying track's starting to dry, temps are coming up. I mean, pretty bloody obvious it's not raining anymore and these cars have been circulating for a while. This is quite tense actually, Stroll versus Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg once again is killing it in that Sauber. Doing a really, really good job. They've had a bit of a renaissance actually. Binotto and Jonathan Wheatley at the helm. They've got some decent people into that team and they have had a lot of decent investment into that team as well. So I wasn't expecting Audi. I mean, I was expecting Audi to kind of be a force to be reckoned with, if not a Grand Prix winner, maybe even a champion by 2030, which is ambitious. It's still 5 seasons away, but it's very, very ambitious. But Audi generally wins in everything that they go in, so I could assume, I thought, quite safely that it would happen in Formula One as well. It's definitely not been straightforward for them. Ever since they've announced that they were coming into F1 and making their own engine, it's been a fucking nightmare, to be honest. Piastri saying it's still not close to slicks. Yeah, kind of no shit. There's still a lot of spray coming up off those cars. This is the waiting game now. I think we're still 10 or so laps away from slick tyres. That's if the rain doesn't come back. But will the Inters make it? They should. By that point, they might even wear down to Inter slicks. In which case, do you pit or do you not pit? Hulkenberg really pressuring Stroll here. George Russell as well, right behind Pierre Gasly, trying to make something happen, just not this lap. Not this corner. Yeah, that Audi team, the Sauber team Audi, as they'll be next year, they are starting to get it together. They've sacked half the bosses. It looks like they've actually started properly recruiting well into that team, and they're actually getting some kind of a tune out of this car. So who knows? Maybe they're finding something. Maybe there's a bit of nice momentum there. They're nowhere near winning a race, and they're nowhere near competing for a championship. But 2030 is a lifetime away in Formula One. 5 seasons, that is just so far away. So you never know. You never know. I wouldn't expect it to be a Renault repeat where they say, here's our 100 race plan, here's our 5-year plan and all of that shit, and then in the end it just falls apart spectacularly every single year and they never get anywhere. I'm not expecting it to be that. But exactly how good it will be, well, we just have to wait and see. It's very exciting though. Audi, Aston Martin, even the resurgence of McLaren, there's a lot of excitement behind a lot of these teams. Cadillac, I mean, I think Cadillac's a real wait and see kind of thing. I'm not sure exactly what that team is going to be able to achieve. Cadillac has zero history in Formula One, so, or GM rather has pretty much zero history in Formula One, so we'll wait and see with that team. They're also brand new as well, so I would assume it'd take them a little bit of time to properly get underway. But George Russell and Gasly still going at it. George has got a real good run at him here. Gasly is going to block him off, maybe. Into Cops. Russell down the inside. There's not going to be any grip there. Russell has to back out of it. Oh, looks like Alonso might even fancy a bit of this too. Oh, look at Russell. He's really pushing it. Lance Stroll. Oh, he's going to get past here. That's it. Yeah. Nico Hülkenberg up to third. I was going to say Stroll just... There's no speed left in that car. And look at Lewis Hamilton right behind him as well. Now, it's still too early to pit for slick tyres. You don't want to pit again for inters if you're only going to take them off in a few laps. But, yeah, that Aston Martin's just not holding on at all. You can see just how slow he is compared to the Sauber and compared to Lewis Hamilton. There's no grip left. That's fine, you know. Don't worry about it, Lance. 5th place is still good. Here's Lewis Hamilton, and look at all the room Stroll's given him as well. I think he knows. There's no point fighting this one. That car just won't do it for him. Norris creeping up a little bit closer to the back of Piastri there, about 2 seconds. It was 3.2, so Lando's definitely not letting Oscar get away here. Now, what is this? Max Verstappen past Carlos Sainz into club. Yeah, pretty textbook move, but it's always a risk going offline when there's been that much rain. Decent move out of Max Verstappen there. Decent move. Gasly looks like the real cork in the bottle here. He's not really going anywhere. Hamilton managed to pass him and has since flown off up the road. It's Gasly holding up Russell. Alonso's catching him, and now it looks like Max Verstappen will be joining this party very soon, which will be very, very fun. Charles Leclerc, meanwhile, still stuck behind Sainz. So he did manage to make it past Albon, but he's just not really moving from back there. Not the way that you'd really want a Ferrari to move, at least. So yeah, it's exciting times. There's a lot of reason to be optimistic about Formula One, to be honest. Sporting wise, I mean, I'm not sure about the new generation of engines. If some of the horror stories I've heard so far are to be believed, it might be a bit of a catastrophe. In fact, they've announced that they're doing 3 test sessions for next season, pre-season test sessions. So lately they've only really done the 1. It was 2, it was 3. I mean, time was, it was actually unlimited, but that's Charles Leclerc getting by. Oh, really forcing the move on Alex Albon. Very forceful move there. Albon had to just get out of the way there. Yeah. It's not a dirty move. It's a very forceful move. Maybe even bordering on rude, but, you know, that's racing. This is Hamilton radio. Track conditions update when you can. Ask the pit wall. Track's pretty decent. Starting to dry up a bit. Hamilton's saying there'll be a crossover next 5 or 10 laps. Yeah, which is basically what I was saying 5 laps ago. Look at that. 5 of the 6 rookie drivers are out. One of them didn't even start either, so... In fact, there's one that I didn't even realise. It's only been the rookies, the first year drivers. I mean, give or take with Lawson, but if we're throwing in with the rookies, why not? It's only been those really inexperienced drivers who have not finished today. I mean, I guess it really goes to show a wise head and a lot of experience can do you wonders. I mean, just look at Hülkenberg and Hamilton. And once again, I think Lewis Hamilton could well finish on this podium here. 27 seconds between Norris and Hülkenberg. Fucking hell. 27 seconds. And we've still got 15 laps to go. I don't think Lewis is going to catch that up. That is just a phenomenal pace out of the McLarens. For the record, here they are going through cops into the S's. The McLarens right now are already through Stowe. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing to see. Now Charles Leclerc, half a second behind the Williams. Really needs to get something done here on Carlos Sainz, because he is currently running 11th and out of the points, which isn't going to be great when Lewis Hamilton looks like he's going to be on the podium now. I think Ferrari, like Mercedes, I think they totally botched the strategy earlier. I really think they did. Alonso's in the pits, so here we go. Is this going to be the slicks? Alright, Russell's saying... So Russell's been asked if he wants to put on the slicks now. So they've asked Russell, do you want to pit for slicks? Russell says, how brave do you want to be? Mercedes say brave but not suicidal. Which is probably... It's a shrewd way to do it. They probably could have used a bit of that foresight earlier in the race, to be honest. There was no reason to be putting George Russell on slicks. Especially both cars on slicks when there was very obviously another big rain cell on the way. I think to my dying day I won't be able to figure out why they did that. So there is going to be the overlap coming very soon, so we'll keep an eye on whatever Fernando Alonso does here on the mediums. Looks like he's already past, or out ahead of Tsunoda. Tsunoda must be carrying damage because he is a long way off the pace. Either that or, my god, it's just... It looks like almost career ending for Yuki Tsunoda. Russell Radio, I think we go for it. Cool, so is he going to dive into the pits? And who else is going to follow him? This is really... If you are stuck behind an Alpine... Box, yes, he is coming into the pits. So if you're stuck behind an Alpine for lap after lap, like he has been, the best thing you can do is throw the dice. I mean, if you're looking at pretty much no return anyway, the best thing you can do is just throw the dice and see what happens. And by no return, 7th is okay points, but it's not good points. Not for Mercedes. Now they have a chance to do something here. The hards. Not sure about putting the hards on. God, you'd think there would be... You'd think a medium tyre would be okay, unless he just didn't have one available. I would have thought that a medium tyre would be better to get up to speed. You've only got to ride, 14 laps on it to the end. It would definitely last. There's not a lot of rubber left on the track at all, because it keeps getting washed away, but those cars are very light, and Russell goes almost totally off the road at turn 3, so still very treacherous there. Look how slow that fucking thing is. You know what, that might have been suicidal after all. The thing is, look at that. Turn 5 looks dry. It looks fine. Now what is this? Alonso really struggling. 6.5 seconds now behind Tsunoda, who he came out of the pits ahead of, so I'd say it's still too early for slicks then. Fuck. So, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz going at it here. Just a bit of a replay. Leclerc has gotten by Sainz. Sainz completely reckless by Leclerc. Yeah, kinda. But, you know, the stewards have also said that that's fine. So, you know. This is one of those don't hate the player, hate the game kind of things. Oh, that's a big spin. George Russell manages to catch it. Oh. The thing is, he's done a Charles Leclerc there. He just hasn't gone. It's just that he's done a 360 while doing it. Just sort of cut one of the S's entirely. You can't pit to put the inters back on at this point. You just have to ride it out. You have to ride it out. What is Alonso now? 8 seconds. Nearly 10 seconds behind Tsunoda. Oh, yeah, Russell turned. Look at the flat spot on those tyres. Those things are fucking cooked. Maybe he does want to pit and get those things off. Well, it's done. Mercedes totally fucked today. Totally fucked. Yeah, you could see it just snapped on him. Right. It's much wetter than before. That's what she said. Toto Wolff just knowing that his team has totally blown it today. Just knowing. They were right there. They were right fucking there. They could have had a podium today. It could have been great. It could have been fantastic. George, podium at Silverstone would have been brilliant. And it looks like it's going to be absolutely fucking nothing. Yeah. Not great. Not great. And again, like, Russell's just going to have to eat that shit. He's going to have to eat those flat spots. Oh, turn 4 incident noted between Leclerc and Sainz. So maybe the stewards didn't like that. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, there wasn't contact. It was a clean move. It was a very forceful move. It was quite rude. But I don't know if it warrants a penalty. It's like nobody else has gone to the pits this lap either, so... Nah, it was... Fucking Russell and Alonso are looking a bit... Look like they're going to be getting lapped soon. It's just absolutely not worked out for Russell or Fernando Alonso today. It could have been a genius move, but just not to be. That's a shame. So 11 laps to go, 10 laps to go, 11 laps to go, including the one that they're on. The thing is, if you pit Piastri for new tyres, I mean, at this point, you want to run these inters to the end. You run the risk of, if you pit Piastri and he has to take a 10-second penalty, and Hamilton is pitting, so here we go. Is that for... Surely that's too early for slicks. Surely. What are we seeing? Yeah, softs. Well, softs should be able to get to the end. You'll be able to fire them up quite quickly as well. Stroll into the pits, Verstappen into the pits. Okay, so everyone's going after all. Here we go. Now, McLaren, what are you going to do? Now, they did have a lot of time to play with, a whole lot of time. And I was thinking, if you're going to pit Piastri, and he does eat that penalty, you could potentially have Hulkenberg jump him into second. Especially if Hulkenberg doesn't pit for the rest of the race. Now, a lot of these guys on softs, is that Charles Leclerc going through and Lewis Hamilton? Just look at that. Now, I get the feeling you might want... I think by the end of the race, Tsunoda in the pits, so he'll be dead last by the end of this. Probably a lap down. Now, what is this? Replay Lewis Hamilton. Is he going to have a moment coming back onto the track? I would assume so. Yeah, look at that. Whoa, big moment for Lewis Hamilton. Way off. Soaking those slicks on the water as well, just for good measure. So Charles Leclerc did as well. So both the Ferrari guys. And that's... Charles Leclerc's on inters as well, so it shows just how slippery it is still. Look at Piastri, really, Hulkenberg in the pits. Okay then, so Leclerc, I'm supposing, will come into the pits as well. Or are they just going to run him on inters to the end and just see what he can do? That's a slow stop for Hulkenberg. A brief yellow flag, I don't know who that was for, but it looks like somebody might have had a spin and then got away with it. Leclerc is in the pits, Albon is in the pits, Oconnor's in the pits, so everybody is going to switch to the slicks. Look how fucking far ahead the McLarens are. It's just incredible. They could just stay out on the inters for the rest of it. They really could. Like, they don't need to pit at all, but they're going to pit anyway. Piastri box, which means that Lando... Ooh, and that's... Is that Max Verstappen off the track? And coming back onto it, or is that just a deceptive camera angle now? This is Piastri in the pits. And you can't touch the car. Can't touch the car. They have to wait, and this is the thing. He's not going to be able to undercut Lando whatsoever because he's got this massive fucking penalty. He should be safe from Hulkenberg. He should absolutely be safe from Hulkenberg. In fact, I'm looking at it right now on the track map. He is about as safe as he could possibly get from Hulkenberg. It's not even fucking close. Yellow flag. Who's that? Both the Haas's missing a timing line. Looks like that's Ocon at left field. Behrman goes through. Now they both missed a timing line, it looked like. I wonder if they've gotten together maybe. Whoa, look at Ocon just struggling for grip out there. And just a massive jumble of the order there as well. Now this is on board with the Bearman, and it looks like they will have gotten together. They did. Oh, they both went off. Ollie! Fuck! Ollie, the last... I think he just kind of got caught out. I don't even think he really wanted to go for that move. He just kind of got caught out. Everyone was sort of warming their tyres, and I think Ollie just sort of arrived a little bit too quick. Another bit of a yellow flag, but not really. Now this is Lando into the pits. Now the big risk here is that somebody will go off. When everybody's on slick tyres on a drying track, there's a big risk that somebody will go off. There'll be a safety car. And if you don't pit in time, you could potentially be facing a restart with chewed up inters or chewed up tyres, with the rest of the field bearing down on you. But Norris, the last to switch to the slicks. So here we go. Max Verstappen getting very animated on the radio. Now Norris has a massive gap. It's not 27 seconds, it's a lot closer than that, but he does have a big gap to Oscar Piastri. What is it, 6.5 seconds? So he doesn't really have to push it here, 5.8 seconds. He doesn't really have to push it here, he just has to play it smart. If he plays it smart, he gets it over the line. There's 7 laps to go. So Lando, play it smart, buddy. Oh, a bit of debris on the road. That would be from the Haas's getting together. That's Alonso on Albon. Into Stowe corner. Easy as you like. So Alonso's absolutely on the move. How about that? Alonso and Russell both in the points after all. So there was a switchover period, like a crossover period, where these tyres really started to work. Alonso and Russell were already on the slicks when that crossover happened. Oh, big moment for Piastri. Huge. Oh, huge. Massive moment for Piastri there. Got away with it too. Oh. Quick hands. Maybe even quicker hands in a McLaren than Pato O'Ward. So, incident between the Haas's noted. That's going to be embarrassing. Goodness me. It's not the first time the Haas's have come together at this track either. I wonder if the team door is going to survive this one. There's a replay into Maggots and Beckett's, and just the car just throws him completely off the road. Totally straight lines it. I tell you, he's very skilled and very lucky to have caught that. 4.5 seconds though, so he is still catching Lando Norris. Lando wants to know from his engineer where Oscar went off, not just that he went off at one point. You see just a little bit of spray going into cops, and it makes me Quite nervous for these guys. There is zero grip in the wet on a slick tyre. It will cool those tyres off, it will drop their pressure, drop their grip, drop the temperature. It's really not great for it. It's why these things just cannot drive in the wet on these tyres. It just does not work. Meanwhile, Nico Hulkenberg is running in third, nearly 7 seconds. Nearly 7 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton in fourth. Charles Leclerc's had a big off. He's down in 14th. This is a bad race out of Charles. This has been not great. Fell apart with the strategy right near the start, and it just has not gotten any better. I mean, Verstappen's back up to 6, and that's with a couple of offs, and Russell's up to 10th, Alonso's up to 8th. You know, you can rescue strategy sometimes. You don't get you don't get what maybe you wanted out of it, but you can get something out of it. But Leclerc's getting absolutely fucking nothing out of this. Absolutely nothing. Ahead of only Tsunoda, who is a lap down as well. So, in fact, Leclerc, if he's not careful, could well get lapped before the end of this race. Lewis Hamilton 6 seconds behind Hulkenberg. He wants that podium. He really, really does. The fact that it's Nico Hulkenberg as well. Do you really want to dunk on a German in England? Is that what we do? Is that really what we do? Now Piastri, 5 seconds behind Norris. I'd say Oscar's given it up. I think it's over. Hulkenberg, third, is just blowing my mind. That is incredible. And whether it's third or fourth today, I think absolutely hats off to him. I think he's played an absolute blinder today. He's been fantastic. Stroll fifth, also a good shout. Gasly in seventh has absolutely nailed it. If he can keep this going, he's absolutely nailed it. Hasn't put a foot wrong. I think I've barely mentioned Alpine as well, so I was true to my word. But Gasly has just really, really solid running all day. He's just kind of killed it. Was the cork in the bottle earlier in the race, and that's really the only thing that he's done. He's just stuck to it. He's a second behind Verstappen. It's going great. Hamilton 7.2 seconds, so he's just lost a second or so to Nico Hulkenberg. He must have gone off the track somewhere. They're again putting the Tron graphics on these cars for some reason. Thank God they got those graphics, or else I would never know where those cars are. Not going to do any team orders. 5 laps to the end. Radio to Piastri. That's interesting. I think they're saying they're not going to do team orders because they're quite confident that the Piastri will not catch Lando Norris here. It's a pretty easy call to make when it looks like one car is... It's like telling Yuki Tsunoda now, like, we're not going to do team orders, like, no shit. I tell you, that is... I mean, where did Hulkenberg qualify? 19th or something? He was so far down, and he's absolutely nailed this. Absolutely killed it. Dude, I can't believe I can't believe I'm saying this. We are going to have Nico Hulkenberg on the podium today. Mark this day in history. What is it? June? Fuck me dead. Whew, how late is it? July 6th, 2025. 15 years and change since Hulkenberg made his debut. God knows how many starts he's made by this point. It must be near, like over 250, maybe near 300. Pole position in his first season for Williams, for the love of God. And this isn't BMW Williams, this was several years into their decline. Teammate with Rubens Barrichello. That's how long he's been going at this, and he is finally going to break his podium duck today. I cannot fucking believe that. And Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso, Russell, Leclerc, all of them are still in this race, and Hulkenberg is going to finish on the podium. Best of the rest behind the McLarens. I cannot fucking believe that. That is just That is just phenomenal. And look at this, Gasly is pressuring Max Verstappen as well. This really is just phenomenal. It's been a hell of a race. I mean, the fight for the lead is totally petered out. That's done. It's been a good race, though. It's been very, very interesting. Very interesting. A lot of some good calls with strategy, some great drives. Piastri, I think, is going to be ruining that that brake check. Not even really a brake check, just like that massive chucking on the brakes that he did on the hanger strike. I think he might be ruining that, especially if we get to Abu Dhabi. And the points that he gave up today could well decide this championship. It's still very close between Lando and Piastri, so you never know. You really want to keep all the points that you can, and to my mind, that's the biggest mistake Piastri's made since probably Australia when he went off the track. Again, on a wet, dry day. The Lando Norris grandstand, loving it. And hey, I tell you, I mean, circumstances came his way today. Piastri, Verstappen, both of them with mistakes, both of them throwing down the order. But Lando's killed it. It's been very consistent. Never pushed too hard. I mean, commentators to curse here, but never pushed too hard. You know, never went for any risky moves or anything like that. Kept it pretty much together the entire race. It's been nearly faultless. There we go, 239 race starts. 0 career podiums. Well, that's the end of that meme. So, thank fuck for that, because honestly, that shit got tired after about 4 seconds. Between Gunter Steiner, Daniel Ricciardo, the whole no podiums thing, it's like all the Drive to Survive fans are losing their memes, and I am so here for it. So who's the Nansen Idris? Why isn't he driving? I thought he was in this. Yeah, I'd say minimal risk of going off the track now. Oh, Verstappen passed Lance Stroll. Yeah, just a straight up pass from Max Verstappen. So it's a shame for Stroll. It was looking like a podium for him at one point, but not meant to be. I just don't think that Aston's really got it in it to get to the podium. That said, the Sauber, fucking Sauber's going to get a podium. Can you believe that? This is like Alpine at Brazil last year. Ooh, that was the replay. So it was Stroll just making a tiny mistake. Tiny mistake out of turn 3. Big consequences. Yeah, it's a shame. I can't fucking believe it. Well, here we go. Last lap of the race. Norris, I think, has been absolutely fantastic. It's been superb. Piastri, big mistake. Otherwise, he's been probably the best driver of the grid. Big, big mistake. So, yeah. Bit of soul searching. 2 wins in a row for Lando Norris, which is the first time he's going to win back-to-back this season. In this car as well. Round 12, and he's finally done it, so... Unless he bins it in the next half a lap. So Piastri, big opportunity missed, I think, today. He's going to have to sort that out. Hulkenberg third. I mean, what the fuck can you say? In a Sauber, and he's willed himself there. Just like a couple of weeks ago when he managed it in Spain. Look at this. British crowd rise to their feet. Their boy is going to do it. Lando Norris is going to win it. Crosses a line. Winner. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, he's going to be chuffed with that. Piastri, yep, second. Hulkenberg, though, I mean, this is, apart from Oscar, who I don't even think he has a heartbeat. I mean, he will probably be feeling down about it, but I'm not sure if he has the capacity to feel emotions. You know what I mean? Except maybe mild annoyance. Maybe he'll be mildly annoyed at his penalty, at himself for it. There we go. This is it. Hulkenberg, don't adjust your TV. That really happened. Hulkenberg third. Get fucked. That is absolutely incredible. Can't believe that. Hamilton in fourth. Magnussen's teammate Hulkenberg. And K-Mag was there for it as well, so good stuff for him. Verstappen fifth in the end. Gasly did get by Lance Stroll in the end, so Lance from 5th to 7th in the last couple of laps. It's a shame for him, but you know, what can you do? Albon 8th, Alonso 9th, Russell 10th. And that's it, that's all the points. So Behrman, Sainz, Carlos, fuck. Ocon, Leclerc, Tsunoda 1 lap down as well. Fucking nightmare race. Antonelli, Hadjar, Bortoletto, Lawson, Colapinto didn't finish. That's it. That's your British Grand Prix. And look at Lando. He's going to be absolutely loving it. Fist raised, waving to the crowd. Chrome McLaren, yellow helmet. It reminds me of 17 years ago there was a day like this. Although that day was rather more dominant. That also had a podium come out of nowhere with Barrichello as well, I remember. In a car that was generally very shit. Look at that. Nico Hulkenberg's actually fucking done it. I can't believe it. That's just... that warms me heart. I tell you, that was a very, very, very decent get for Sauber, for Audi, for Nico Hulkenberg. A very decent get. He's a good driver. There's a reason Ferrari were after him in 2014 in 2013 rather, until the tech regs meant that he was too heavy for the car, so they went for, unfortunately, Kimi Raikkonen instead, which would have been much better if they'd done that 10 years before. Now what is this? Pierre Gasly, it looks like he might just be getting Stroll on the final lap at Stowe. Yeah, Lance sort of goes to cover it, but you can see there's no speed left in that Aston Martin. Yeah, that's a very easy pass for Gasly in the end. In the dry, that Aston Martin still needs a lot of work. So let's go through it. Norris, fantastic. Well done, well played, well deserved. Good win. Piastri threw it away in my mind. Really threw it away. Could have done it. Could have got pole yesterday. Threw that away. Could have got the win today. Threw that away. So shame for him. Hulkenberg on the podium. I mean, that alone just sort of speaks volumes about what kind of race it is, and Hulkenberg in general. It's been a great move for Sauber to get him. Great move, and proof's in the pudding right there. I always thought that he didn't deserve that meme shit of like, oh, no podiums and shit. I mean, okay, fair enough, but this has been... I think he was unlucky that he came to prominence in what was probably the least competitive era of Formula One racing, where you would have guests on the podium through every era. You would have your dominant teams, your winning teams and that, and then you would have surprises every now and then. Not a lot, but every now and then. Like every year you could count on like a Jordan podium, a Sauber podium, and a Benetton podium, you know, things like that. Generally it used to happen, and then especially with the current engine set, it just stopped happening forever. The cars got too reliable, the engineering got too reliable, the jeopardy of DNFing kind of stopped. It became sterile, and they didn't run engines until they blew up anymore, not like the BMWs or the Hondas used to do or anything like that. Look at Hulk celebrating, bless him. That whole team needed that, especially after the last couple of years. They really needed that, and he's absolutely delivered. But I think in any other era, if you put Hulkenberg in the 90s and in the 2000s, I think he would have had a podium in the first 4 or 5 seasons easily. It just happened to be, unless for some reason, unless you were Checo Perez, you were unlikely to kind of ever see the podium. It was they were so bloody rare, so rare to get. So now I'm not saying he's the greatest or anything like that, but he is definitely a good driver. He's definitely underrated. He's still got the speed, he's still got the fight, still got the desire, and he's absolutely cleaned up today. So well done, Nico Hulkenberg. Well bloody done. Well done. Good stuff. Great stuff. You get me big thumbs up for today. Good stuff. Hamilton fourth. Could have been a podium, just didn't quite have it at the end. You know, that was kind of Ferrari in general today. I mean, not taking anything away from Hulkenberg, I would have assumed that Hamilton, especially the way he was starting to claw back, definitely at the time to get to Hulkenberg, but just by the time he got behind Hulkenberg on the track, couldn't match him. I think maybe took too much out of his tyres. And he was on the softs too, so, you know, there is that bit less life in those tyres than Hulk or Verstappen behind him. Verstappen in fifth. Couple of big mistakes today. Really expected more out of Verstappen. It's not like him to be making mistakes like that in a race. I think you can tell that he's really pushing the car and he's not happy with the car either. So we'll see what Red Bull does with that. But that car, I mean, outside of Max Verstappen's magic hands, I don't see anybody doing anything with that car. I think it's fundamentally kind of fucked. So, again, like I was saying, it has a performance window. The window is more of a mail slot. Only Max can find it, which means generally that car is kind of fucking useless. I think that, who was it? I can't remember who it was, but I think it was Ross Brawn actually saying having a driver like Michael Schumacher back in the day was a double-edged sword. Where he could help you get an amazing car and he could drive it fantastically well. He could drive around problems and all of that sort of shit, around deficiencies in the car. He could magic things. But the car itself was not getting any better. It was just him doing it. The car itself was starting to stagnate. And even when they would complain about it, like Max has been complaining about the Red Bull the past couple of years, saying he's not liking what he's feeling out of the car or anything like that, he can still magic something out of it. And it's kind of steered them down this direction, and now they just look stuck up shit creek. Their car is fundamentally too difficult to work with. It's too much of a diva, and in that case, it doesn't matter how fast it is. If you can't extract that performance, it's not worth anything. Anyway, Red Bull with a bit of work to do. Gasly sixth is fantastic, absolutely fantastic, because that car's a fucking pig. And that team is on fire, hot fire as well. But I think he's absolutely killed that. So well done, Pierre Gasly. Good stuff. Stroll seventh, magic. Well, not quite as magic as it could have been. It could have been Stroll doing this interview, but as the track dried out, that Aston still has a lot of deficiencies in it, and you can see him here. Yeah, unlucky. I think just had nothing, and he as well was on the softs by the end. So I'd say the tyres didn't have a lot of life in them. That Aston's not that quick anyway. So you take the gamble and it works initially on the softs, but you just got to pray that they can hold on, and they just didn't this time. Albon in 8th, so a nice decent little pocket full of points for Williams, although that's really going to hurt them seeing a Sauber up in 3rd. Williams have got to do something, and Alpine in 6th. It's not great. Williams have got to do something here. They've not had a lot of reliability lately. They have been finishing in the points generally all year. I think Albon's finished in the points. This is his 8th time in 12 races, so that's not bad, but they're going to need major point gets, or else they could just get usurped like this, or like they did with Alpine last year. So a lot to do for Williams still. Alonso in 9th. All things considered, an okay recovery actually, because for all my money, that looked like a total pile of shit near the end of the race, and he's managed to magic some points out of it. So well done, Fernando. Russell in 10th. Mercedes, a lot of questions there. A lot of questions. Russell had one big moment where he went off the track. The rest of it, I think, just not great. Really not great out of him. They got a lot of questions that they need answering about how they do things and their strategies and things like that. Behrman, messy, not great hitting a teammate either. So yeah, not great out of any of the rookies really today, except for Antonelli. His was more of a circumstance, although he hasn't really been on George's level at all this weekend. Sainz in 12th, again, not great. A lot of questions there for Sainz. A lot of questions there for Williams again. So, roll the dice, go again next week. because he was running in the points for a lot of the race and it just didn't work. Ocon, taken out. What can you do? Started mid-grid, threw the dice early, worked out early, then it didn't work. Then it was kind of working again, and then it didn't. So, Leclerc, fucking nightmare. Bad race, mistakes, slow. The Ferrari's got new bits that should be working. It's definitely quicker than that. So, a bad race out of Charles Leclerc. I want to read what he has to say afterwards, and I want to listen to what he has to say afterwards because it just looked messy. It didn't look good. It really, really, really didn't look good. Again, strategy I think was wrong to start with, and he just totally didn't recover from that though. Russell recovered a 10th. Alonso recovered as well. A lot of the guys that went on slicks then managed to recover back later in the race, especially with the safety car to bunch everybody up, and still the weather lottery playing from there. So yeah, Leclerc just rolled too many snake eyes. Just kept fucking losing today, so it's a shame for him. Expecting more out of that Ferrari, especially expecting more out of it Charles Leclerc next time out, which I think is Hungary in 2 weeks' time. I'm pretty sure that's the next race. In fact, I can check that right here. In fact, the next race is the Belgian Grand Prix. Of course, because they host that thing earlier now. The Belgian Grand Prix, and that'll be in, I think, 2 weeks' time. Then we go to Hungary, then it's the summer break. So, still a couple of races left. Maybe you can get something before they go away, because after the summer break, I'm expecting everybody to shut off development here. Tsunoda, total fucking nightmare. Total fucking nightmare, honestly. At this point, he might be begging for the sack. It's bad. It's bad for Tsunoda. I don't know what he's going to have to do here, but it's just not fucking working. It's not working at all. It doesn't look good. It looks really bad for him, and that he's as lost, that he sounds as lost as he has been, and as defeated as he has been, I think is bad news. It is bad news for Red Bull, because who else do they get in? There's no one there. They had the opportunity to go for Nico Hülkenberg, and they turned it down. There's no one else. Like, the cupboard's bare. They could scrounge around. Maybe they try Lawson again, although that totally didn't fucking work, and I wouldn't expect it to work again. They could maybe they try Hadjar, but I wouldn't expect that to work. They could try Lindblad, but they're probably going to destroy his career before he even gets started. Red Bull's in a lot of trouble. And I was saying this last year when Newey left and they lost Wheatley and a bunch of other guys from that team. There was a mini exodus going on, and I was saying last year, that seat might not be all that coveted soon enough. It might not be that great of a seat to have. They were so good in 21, 22, 23. Generally, they have these spells where they're just almost invincible, but a lot of that was built off Adrian Newey and his team and a whole lot of the other guys at Red Bull. A lot of them have left. The new engine coming in probably is going to make it worse. I definitely don't see it being on par with Mercedes, probably not even Honda or Ferrari. So, and I didn't even get to talk about the Max noise, but I don't even know if he's going to be there next year, and if he isn't there next year, if it's either a sabbatical or Mercedes or whatever it might be, I think that team is in massive trouble. So, not good. Everybody else didn't finish. Antonelli, unlucky. Hadjar, unlucky. Spray, what can you do? Sucks, but that's the way it is sometimes. Bortoletto went off on slicks, unlucky. Could have happened to anybody, just happened to happen to him. Shame. Lawson, big hit, again unlucky. 3-1 doesn't go, and it didn't today, so just happened to be on the arse end of that. Colapinto didn't even make the start, unlucky. Will we see Colapinto again? Yes. Will we see him after the summer break? We'll see. Anyway, that's all. I think that's a good time to wait the checkers on this one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you had a lot of fun. That was a very fun race. What are we thinking? 4 stars. 4 stars sounds good. It wasn't an absolute classic. It wasn't a 5-star race. It wasn't that far off it. 4 stars for me. That was fun. That was a whole lot of fun. And look at that, Nico Hülkenberg on the podium. Fucking, I cannot get over that. I'm sorry, but that is just incredible. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for watching along. Hope you join me in a couple of weeks' time. It should be fun. I'll see you soon. Ta-ta for now. Bye-bye.